So this video is just going to be about some terminology that probably everybody should know, because I know I tend to just use it offhand now. And if you're reading or watching other videos from other teachers and things, you'll probably hear these terms anyway. So having an idea of what the hell people are talking about really makes a difference. So I did another video already on the concept of qi and the word qi, so I'm not going to talk about that here. The words I'm going to talk about have to do generally with things that I will say in class. So Dantian, when I'm asking somebody to move from their Dantian, Dantian is located below your navel. So what I'm really kind of asking you to do is move from your hips and your legs. That's the easiest way to look at it for the beginning. The whole concept of Dantian I'll make another video of. It's a thing that has to be cultivated in the body, and it starts off just with move your pelvis. You know, pump your legs into the ground, move your pelvis, your Dantian's moving. Tanzhong, which is another extremely important part of the body. It's the center of the chest. It literally means that. Zhong is center, and Tan means chest. So the chest center is independently moving in Lohan a lot. So like for instance, right now I'm seated, my pelvis isn't moving. If I turn from side to side, it's only my spine and my chest and my rib cage doing this movement, which means I'm putting my spine into a spiral each direction, pumping cerebral spinal fluid and cracking my back, making everything feel good, right? So when we tend to move around as normal people, if we're walking, if you turn to your right or left, you generally won't turn your chest and leave your hips where they are. You'll generally turn your hips and your whole body remains upright. And that's how we end up with our waists kind of frozen, okay? And it's a big problem. If you have a frozen waist, which we all basically do at first, till you even understand to look at your body this way. If you have a frozen waist, it means that things just aren't in good relation with each other, right? Things aren't healthy. And your organs aren't being pushed around by muscular contraction in the most healthful possible way. You see, most of the organs in the body, they actually get a lot of their blood flow from muscular contraction. So they're kind of like in a big sack. And by moving your torso, your abdominal muscles, and twisting your waist, that sack gets pushed upon. And once you push on that sack, it washes all of those organs with blood. It's kind of like you're squeezing out a sponge, right? So if there's any blood that's been perhaps stagnant, hasn't been moving around in there because lack of muscular contraction, then by doing exercises involving Tanzhong, then you're going to give them a nice blood wash, if you will, from the inside. This is what they call internal massage, right? It's, you know, I'm massaging my organs by moving my external body. So Dantian is your hips and your pelvis. And then Tanzhong is your chest and your rib cage, okay? Because we'll be moving them independently a little bit. Another one that's really big in Lohan is going to be Laogong. Laogong is the palace in the hand, okay? So it's the center of the hand. It's right here in the middle of your palm. And it's considered well, it'll be a whole talk, this one, but it's considered a qi emission point in the body, okay? One of the reasons, if you will, in our instincts, if we hurt ourselves, we will instantly touch it with the palms of our hands, okay? Because we protect. That's something we can protect with, right? We keep it too close to ourselves. So it's also one of the reasons our hands are hot a lot of the time, palms of the hands. So anyway, the idea here is that, well, I'll do another video on it. It's a big thing. There's a whole other sort of family system, if you will, of Chinese medicine sort of buried inside of this, of how the body is seen. There's a perspective on the body that's a little different than others. So think about the center of the palm as a valve that leaks. Let me put it that way. So when we do the ox tongue palm, we're actually just kind of closing up a leak. That is normal and natural, but we're trying to pressurize a system, okay, when we do it. So there's those ones. The other ones we'll talk about will probably be much later on, other than the fact that we need to talk about, for the posture, whenever you're practicing Qigong, you should have your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, okay? Just behind the upper teeth. And what happens is if you touch the tongue to the upper palate, the meridian, let's say the meridian in the front of the body connects. It's almost like it's got a spark gap in it too, like a valve that is leaking, right? Actually a valve that's unconnected. So you have to connect the valve by pulling the tongue up to up top. Physiologically, this actually makes a chain, what's it called? A muscle train or a muscle chain? I can't remember. But a cascade of muscular events can take place in a way they can't if your tongue's not up. right? Because the transfer of force won't go through your body all the way. Muscle Trains. I think it's called Muscle Trains. Anatomy Trains. That's what it's called. It's a good book. It talks about how whenever you move, there's a cascade of muscular motion that has to take place. Like finding out that to pick up your arm, it actually starts at your lower back. The muscles in your lower back should be firing before anything else out here fires. And that's a big part of what internal training is about. So Laogong in the center of the palms, Tanzhong in the center of the chest, Dantian in the center of the pelvis. And the other one you're going to hear very soon is going to be Yongquan. Yongquan is right in the center of the bottom of the foot. And the center of the bottom of the foot, this means bubbling well or bubbling spring point. This is considered the most yin point on the body. So this is where man connects to earth, right? Where human beings connect to the earth. If we're barefoot on the earth, it's the most yin. It's where we make our contact because we're bipeds. Okay, not very good ones, but we're bipeds. So Yongquan is the kidney one point, the first point on the kidney meridian, the most yin part of the body, and we'll be massaging it when we get to the massages. All right, so hopefully that should clear up any kind of problems you might have with terminology. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, and we'll do a weekly question and answer where I'll address, whatever is going on. Maybe something people didn't understand, maybe something you want to hear more about. All right, talk to you later.